World Tank Blizzards. It's a Littlefinger. Happy Friday, July 9th. Time for another store review. And you can see here, I've got the Defender Mark 1 pulled up. Why? Well, the Australian Centurion Mark 5.1 is for sale in the stores. And I just wanted to kind of highlight the similarities here in this armor profile. So you're going to have very similar play styles with these two tanks. The main difference being the Centurion comes with the 20-pounder single shotgun, where the Defender has that 4-shot auto loader. We'll talk about this a little bit later when we get to it in the store. Let's check. Yes, gold is still for sale for 2 times the gold for the price. So, quite honestly, if you are looking to spend a little bit of money on the game, this is where I would come first. If one of these fits into, the ballpark of where you want to spend, you're really getting the most bang for your buck here. From history with my videos here, I talk about 350 gold per dollar. Well, now that would be 700 gold per dollar. So you're really stretching what you're buying if you're buying it with gold right now. 5x boosters. What do I say here? Feels like cheating to me. I am not a big fan of these 5x boosters because it does allow you to get from tier to tier much quicker. And you guys saying, well, what's wrong with that? Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit old school when it comes to this. I think you should, have to play a certain number of battles at each tier to be able to move up. And this just makes it that much easier. So I can understand why you guys like this. But for me, I'm not going to spend 10 bucks on something that I can get for free just by playing a few extra battles. American Invasion container. We talked about this a good bit last week. 10% drop chance. There's a list of tanks here. You can read it from tier 6 to tier 10. You have no choice if you get a tank. And if you get a tank, you have no choice what tank that will be. So it's completely random. The downside here is that you only get credits. I think it's 3 million credits for a tier 10 if you already have it. The positive is that it's a 10% drop chance. Most of the times we see these drop chances at 3 to 5%. So it does give you more odds of getting a tank. 121B, I'm not even going to really discuss this just because don't go spend $25 on gold over here and get yourself 17,000 gold instead. There's a 3 out of 4 chance you're going to only get 8,500 gold here. So don't. Okay. We'll talk about the 121B a little bit later. Super Pershing. I like this deal for the price and what you get out of it. 30 days of premium, the camo, the attachment, 9 equipment slots unlocked, 500,000 credits. Keep in mind, guys, this is a good tank for newer players, I would say. I mean, yes, you can play it as an experienced player and play it very well, I'm sure. Spaced armor all in the front. People have difficulty penning this, and then they start throwing heat or whatever their premium is at it, and because it's spaced armor, it deflects a lot of those shots. Now, that being said, an American medium tank, to me, the reason I don't like it is it's just too slow for a medium and the medium's role on the battlefield. It's almost like you've got to play it like a heavy tank, and the armor just doesn't stand up as it would if you were playing it like a heavy tank. So, I kind of, it's got like a little bit of an identity crisis for me on the battlefield there. But a tier 8 for 5,500 with 30 days of premium is a good deal if you're new to the game and want to get a solid, premium tank. These groundbreaking research, combat, con, power buildup, just don't. It's not worth it with what you can buy just buying gold straight up. And now we get to the Centurion Mark 5.1. First time in stores for gold. Last time it was crates. So you're going to see the prices higher than what they should be. You are paying early adopter prices for this tank. You want to wait, it will definitely be back in store, and it'll be about 8,500 is probably a reasonable price for the tank. The one thing that I do like about this, and I'm going to go ahead and buy this as an investor, as a collector of tanks, you get 3 American Invasion crates. So I just wanted to see how that goes. I will do that at the end of this video. Massive assault here. 2 big American heavy tanks at tier 7 and at tier 8. The downside to me on this is that both of these tanks play exactly the same way. I like to see the bundles, and we'll show one here in a second, with 2 completely different tanks. That way, you're getting 2 different feels of tanks and how to play them. You are getting some 5x boosters, and you get 2 American Invasion crates to open if you buy this bundle here. So, I would put that on the probably don't buy side of my recommendation. We've just got some more invasion crates here for different prices. So here we get to the National Pride bundle. 4 crates this time. 7,500 gold gets you a strong, heavy American tank that plays extremely well hull down, and you get a tier 7 TD that plays completely different. Very little gun depression on this tank. The armor on this tank is super strong, except for these kind of little turrets on the side. So you've got a completely different play style on how to hide the weak spots on that tank versus the T-34. Both have the American flag camo on them, and I think this here is a reasonable deal. Moving on, 121B Dragon, 15,000 gold. This is the price that we have seen this for sale for many, many times. So I don't necessarily think that it will come back in stores for less. Gets a little bit of a bad rap, I think, in the community, but I have fun playing it. Drives really well. You can think of your Object 140, the 62A, in line with those type of tanks. Super accurate gun. The rest of the stuff here is seasonal coins. I talked about this last week. Not going to do it here today. Moving over to bundles, we've got Triumphant Power here. And this is kind of interesting. Right now, this is not necessarily the best deal out there. I think I would rather see you, if you're going to spend $100, get that 75,000 gold here. It costs 8,000 for 180 days of premium time, and it costs 15,000 to convert gold into 6 million credits. After you've done that, you still have way more than 37,000 gold. Now, the thing that puts this kind of on the edge for me is that, where does it say it on here? You get 20 American Invasion containers. So, what does that do for you with a 10% drop chance? It gives you an 87% chance of getting 1 tank. It gets you a 60% chance of getting 2 tanks. And 1 out of every 3 people are going to get 3 tanks out of that American Invasion bundle of 20. So, if you fall into the category of getting 2 or 3 tanks, that then kind of pushes it over the edge onto just buying the gold, in my opinion, especially if you drop a tier 10 or something like that. But that's a lot of ifs and what ifs, and yeah. So for right now, I still think the gold is the best deal. But if you like doing a little bit of gambling, not a bad deal here. Yeah, so as we go down, you're going to get 10 containers here. 10 containers will give you a 65% chance of getting 1 tank, 26% chance of getting 2 tanks, and only a 7% chance of getting 3 tanks. So just keep that in mind as you, decide whether or not to drop this much money on the game. TS5, yeah, so Wargaming's really got to put out a bad tank for me not to want it, and I don't want the TS5. I will eventually get it when the price is right, but I am not paying money to get a slightly faster T28. I'm just not. It's not a tank that I would ever decide to play. So that is based upon what I've heard and seen from other people playing the tank, not from my experience having played it myself since I don't own it yet. But yeah, I'm staying away from these containers, 5% drop chance, and not going to do it. Scout Troop, you know, we see this every week. There's always some new tier 2, tier 3 tanks. Normally, this would be a decent deal if you just wanted to buy it and sell it. I think it puts you just over 500 gold per dollar. But because gold is where it is right now, just buy the gold. I don't see anybody, you know, regularly going back to tier 2 and playing it. Although the T7 car is pretty fun, with the like kind of the, you know, magazine it's got there. I can't remember how many shots it's got, but it's got a lot of shots in it. So that right there, you know, guys, is going to wrap up the store. So yeah, let's drop and get the 5-1. And if we go back here, we can go over to storage. And here are our 3 mystery boxes, is what they're calling them. So between 100 gold and 100,000 gold, like that's ever going to happen. Between 2.5 million free EXP, 50K, and 1 million silver. So let's just see what happens here, shall we? 2,000 free EXP. All right. And a mystery certificate. So we got a tank out of this, guys. So we'll see what that is here in a second. And another 2,000 free EXP. So this could be anything in this list here. You can got 121B, Mark 6, M60. So some really nice tanks here. This is a huge, huge, huge list. Even some of... Wow. Let's see what it is. APF. Hamza. 70. All right. So we already had it. So I'll be interested to see what they did here. 4 million credits for that. So, you know, a little disappointing on that you don't get the gold. But, hey, nice. That would be a nice deal, you know, for someone that thought they were only getting that Mark 5-1 and ended up with KPF as well. So, all right, guys, that is going to wrap up the store review. Have fun out there this weekend. Remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.